So I'm going to talk to you about the kingdom dynamics of Mammon. The kingdom dynamics of all these kingdoms. If you're in the arts and entertainment world, I know there's some people here in the arts and entertainment world. Whatever world you're in, some of you are in the health world. There's some kingdom dynamics that we have to understand. I have been doing a study on this particular king, Mammon. It has 5 tentacles. We're not going to go into it today. But every king, if you're in the arts and entertainment world, there's a specific king there. If you are in the health world, there's a specific king there. Satan says, all the kingdoms belong to me. He said it to Jesus Christ. I mean, he's gutsy. He said it, but it is true. Adam and Eve gave it to him. So he technically owns the money. He technically owns the fame, the wealth. That's why he could take someone like an Elvis Presley. That's why he can take someone and he can promote them, because he literally owns them. This is why a lot of time government leaders like an Idi Amin will sell their soul over to the enemy. They will do a bargain for power and influence and witchcraft power. They will worship. A lot of government offices, if you go into the office, you will see, I know in some of the African government leaders, if you go into their parliament buildings, you will see a trinity of demonic entities. It's demonic. It's high level. And so if we're going to take on this realm, for you to press through from the million status into the billion status, it means that there's another level that you have to take on. Remember, at the highest level, you have Lucifer. Under Lucifer, you have principalities. Under principalities, you have another level of demonic entities that are called powers. Under the powers, you have another level that are called rulers, territorial. And under that, you have what I call the grassroots demons. Mischief demons, spiritual wickedness. These are the ones that just fly around and constantly try to negate. And so, number one, every kingdom have a king. The money kingdom is called Mammon. Jesus says you cannot serve God and Mammon. And this is why, as we're talking about wealth, you'll notice I keep talking about the reason for the wealth. The reason for the wealth is because we want to have a solutions for the poor. It's not for us to become puffed up. It's not for us to just buy bigger house, better car. We're not impressed with that. The church went through that stage when we went through what we used to call prosperity teaching. And the prosperity teaching was corrupted because it was motivated with the pastor becoming rich while the people give offerings. It never taught the people how to come out of poverty themselves. And so that is when it was a little bit corrupted. But now we're bringing it back to the true prosperity, because we have to believe in prosperity and we have to teach it. It's just like the word kingdom. We named our church Kingdom Covenant Ministries. When I declared that we're changing our name and we're going to name it Kingdom Covenant, then a lot of the branding people and the marketing people and the board says, well, Pastor Pat, if you name the church Kingdom Covenant, people are going to think you're Jehovah's Witness. Because Jehovah's Witness Church is called the Kingdom Hall. And I said to them, we are powerful enough to take back a name that is corrupted by the enemy and bring it to the point where anytime they hear the word kingdom, they will never remember Jehovah's Witness. And it did happen. The word kingdom became very popular. And a lot of churches now are called kingdom this and kingdom that and kingdom that. So when you hear the name kingdom, you don't associate it with Jehovah's Witness anymore. You associate it with the king. And God will make you powerful enough to redeem that which the enemy has stolen. And so we want to redeem this whole prosperity mentality, because God says above everything else, I want you to prosper. And so if the enemy had distorted it by false religion and just imbalance, we're going to bring it back so that when you hear prosperity, people will go, yes. When you teach prosperity, they won't judge you to think, oh, here we go again, but they're going to say yes, because God wants us to prosper. So every kingdom has a king. The money king is called Mammon. Number 2, Satan is a king of rulers and owns all the kingdoms of this world. So every time you go into a kingdom, recognize, we're going to talk in the session after lunch about the 5 kings that you face. And I'm going to talk even about the law society. Because when you become a lawyer, you immediately come under a certain spirit. Immediately. Every kingdom has a king. Number 3, release of kingdom splendor demands worship. Release of kingdom splendor demands worship. So if you are looking for the splendor from Satan, you have to worship him. If you're looking for the splendor from your God, you have to worship him. And that's why worship is a major part of my life. Because Satan said to Jesus, if you want the kingdom, bow and worship me. Jesus says, get out of here. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to come into your territory in Hades. I'm going to face you. I'm going to die. I'm going to face you after I die, and I'm going to break your neck. I'm going to take the keys of the kingdom, slip back into my earth suit, and then I'm going to give it to the church, and I'm going to give them more power than you. You don't have to fight me because you can't win, but I'm going to give my church more power from you, and I'm going to give you the keys for the kingdom.